Today we're in Loveland, Colorado, a small town north of Denver along Colorado's Front Range. At face value, it's a quiet farming and ranching community. But behind these hills lies America's largest new dam project in decades. Welcome to the Chimney Hollow Reservoir project. Longtime viewers may recognize this job from our 2023 BuildWit Roadshow. At that time, Barnard was 2 years into the project and only starting to build the dam itself. And when I heard they were nearly complete with the structure, I had to return for some before and after. And thanks to the great folks at Northern Water, we can bring you all along. The Chimney Hollow Reservoir is a collaboration between 12 northeastern Colorado water providers to provide consistent and clean water year-round for about 825,000 people. The new earthen dam will stand 350 feet tall and will form an enormous bathtub with a 90,000-foot acre capacity, covering 740 acres. For some normal people numbers, that's over 29 billion gallons, or 725 million times my aquarium. With Colorado's Front Range booming, more people need more water than ever, with 30,000 acre-feet of water flowing into the communities from this future reservoir annually. But what's the challenge with water here in the first place? Class is in session.
There are two challenges behind the need for this project. The first is that civilization is on this side to the east of the Rockies, and the water is to the west. This dashed line here is what they call the continental divide. So from here, water either flows east or west. But like I said, most of it is over here in the form of snowmelt. It's running down the mountains, collecting in rivers and lakes. But we need it over here. So to do that, there's a 13-mile tunnel called the Adams Tunnel through the mountains, which brings the water from where it is to where it's needed. Now, the second challenge is that when the water is plentiful over here on the western side, it doesn't necessarily need to be used as much on the eastern side. So we have to store it, which is why take the water over here, pump it through, and put it into reservoirs. And from the reservoirs, like Chimney Hollow, we can let it out to the people throughout the year at a more consistent rate.
All right, enough chit-chat. Let's get to site. Barnard Construction is the muscle behind such a job, a company with a long history of building some of America's toughest jobs. While they perform the bulk of the work, many subcontractors on site help out, like Wallow, a civil contractor from Switzerland for the special Asphalt Core. We'll cover that in depth later, but for now, let's head to all the action.
But yeah, there's a whole lot more here than last time.
Yeah. Interesting part about, the elevation we're at right now is that is about water line right there.
Is it?
So take that and project it out onto the valley here, and that's your water line, 5867.
So once completed the whole thing, this whole area will be full of water.
Yep, we've got the saddle dam. It's only about 150,000 cubic yards worth of material, but
yeah,
we got that on the backside, a little under 3 miles down that way, so you'll have water all the way through.
3 miles.
Yeah, 90,000 acre feet, which is kind of hard to, put into perspective.
All right. How much went into the dam, or once it's completed, how much material's in the dam?
Yeah, so right now we're at 12.5 million cubic yards.
Okay.
11 million cubic yards of that is our 24-inch minus zone 4 material, the bulk of it. We will eventually have about 13 million cubic yards.
And that was most of that you were able to just pull from the face, bring over here.
Yep, pull from the quarry.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, from the quarry, and then just place it as is, hammer it.
Exactly, it all comes from the quarry.
Okay.
Except, the oil, obviously, and some filler products of the asphalt.
Yeah. I think that's one of the coolest things about this job is it's all quarried on site.
Yeah.
And then once
great.
the water's in here, you won't know the quarry ever existed.
Yeah, you'll never know. And then they get a little more storage capacity, you know, because we just took out all that material and put it down here.
There you go. How about that?
Yeah, we're getting close. You can see a lot of reverse action going on because of how tight we are.
Yeah.
We get much tighter as we go up. We still got about 13 feet to get to the top.
Okay.
We're gonna switch our operations from 740s to Maruka trucks.
Yep.
So that'll help out. You know, no reversing at that point. They can just spin themselves around, go forward, dump, spin themselves around, come on back.
How wide is the bit? Is it at the bottom versus the top?
Oof. Yeah, the bottom, I'd have to get an exact, you know, hundreds of feet.
Yeah.
You know, 400. I have to get an exact number. The top is 30 feet.
30 feet.
Yeah. It's good to see. Almost topped out.
Almost done. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's
I'm
amazing.
glad I'm glad we were able to time this too. I wanted to see the last little bit of asphalt going.
Yeah, and if you want to, I don't know what you're trying to. We can walk up to it. We can do whatever you want.
Yeah. If we could go down to the placement.
Yeah, we can walk whatever you want to do. We can walk right up to it.
All right.
I always want to say articulated too. It's like, yeah, track tracks, because technically it's not.
Right.
It is kind of. I don't know if you guys want to see the spillway. It's pretty cool. It's a massive spillway, which is this, obviously this concrete structure here.
We have a very robust spillway design.
Watch your ankles now. Here's the spillway. So really, I think I got a normal water lines right around here.
And this is really, it's not typically going to be used?
No, it should never see water.
It's just in
It's
case.
just an emergency spillway, yeah.
Because you don't want water going up and over the dam.
Yep, exactly.
So if it, because it should really never be used because they're controlling how much water goes into it.
Exactly.
Yeah. How long is this?
This is like, I gotta get the exact number, but 2,000 feet.
So this ends at the bottom.
Yes.
And then the water just goes out.
Yep, it goes out to a stream, goes to another reservoir, which ties into a larger reservoir.
Wow. This material is zone.
This is our zone 3.
Zone 3.
So zone 4
It's covered up
terminated.
now.
Yes.
Okay. And then what's that? Zone 2?
So this is our zone 2. Yep. This is our 1.5 minus, 2 inch minus. That rests up against the asphalt all the way from bottom of the dam to the crest. And then we've got our filter zone, which is our 5A. This is the sand you see here.
What does the filter zone do?
So that ensures, so we clean the foundation of all soil and organics, and they utilize this sand to ensure that no sediment moves with if any water moves on this side of the dam, it's not taking sediment with it. It's filtering out that sediment.
I see.
So there's no void potential.
Okay. Because the goal is, once you put the dam here, you want it to stay here.
Yes.
So all of the engineering is really to make it stay. Like it's really the core too.
Yeah, the structure of it is the zone 4 and all these embanked yards holding it up.
Yeah.
There's no, major structure to it. There's obviously the model for all this, the core, but what holds it up is the millions of yards of embanked rock.
And this is to stop the water.
And this is this is what stops the water.
So the water, if it comes through all the rock,
the impermeable layer.
It
will rest up against here.
It will rest up.
This is the impermeable layer. It stops.
Stops.
Exactly. Okay. Isn't that wild? You got 3 miles of water up against, 2 foot of asphalt. That just tells you the mass of rock that we have here, the millions of cubic yards.
How many tons is that?
Well, it depends on the type of material.
Yeah.
But I can give you average 1.7. That's about 22 million tons.
22 million tons.
22 million tons of rock
that you quarried just for this dam.
Yeah.
All on site. Just over there.
Yep. Just down the road.
What's the deal with the asphalt core? Well, earthen dams need a solid core to prevent water from seeping through. Most overcome this challenge with clay, but this site didn't have enough for such an enormous structure. So the engineers turned to asphalt, which is ideal for two reasons. First, it's impenetrable by water, which is the goal. And second, it's flexible, meaning it will have no issue with slight movements of the earth. Wallow has paved the entire core in small layers using a special machine from Switzerland. They batch all asphalt on site and truck it to the machine, where an excavator loads it into the hopper.
But before we dive in too deep, let's finish our walk and see it for ourselves.
Yeah, so I mean, it is.
Look at that. It's just like a liquid almost.
Gelatinous.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the craziest asphalt I've seen.
It's something else.
And this is 2 feet wide?
Yep.
2 feet, 9-inch lifts.
9-inch lifts, 2 feet
Times
wide.
350 feet?
Yep. We should have about 511, maybe 510 lifts at the end of this. That's a lot of back and forth, like a big 3D printer, really.
It is. It really is a giant 3D printer.
That's what it is. What do you guys stop? Oh, for zone 2?
Once we get to the box for the fire pole.
Whose drone is that? To summarize what the heck is going on here, this is the asphalt placement by Wallow. They're out of Switzerland. We last saw them in Switzerland, Zurich, doing the airport with Eberhard. Unbelievable, great contractor. This is one of the very few machines in the entire world that can do an asphalt core like this. They brought it over from Europe just for this job. What's happening is 349 is grabbing the zone 2 material and feeding it into one of the hoppers. Then we have another 349 on the other side with these tandems coming in here, feeding the second hopper with the very special asphalt mix we just saw. That machine up front has infrared heat. It's heating the previous layer to get it back up to temperature. It's then laying this next layer, 9-inch lift. As it's doing that, it's placing that zone 2 material on either side to keep it exactly where it should be. And then once it passes over here, you've got these baby rollers rolling not just the zone 2, but also the asphalt core, that zone 1. Rinse and repeat 500 plus times, you've got your full asphalt core. Freshly laid asphalt core. It looks way different than typical road asphalt because road asphalt has voids in it. This does not have voids in it. You don't want water coming through it at all. Very, very high oil content, and it's still very hot, about 350 degrees. So you can hear the water. Crackling on the surface.
After checking out the dam, it was time for the quarry. Yep, Barnard quarried all rock for the project right here on site, reducing the project's cost and eliminating truck traffic through the surrounding areas. As the project is winding down, the quarry wasn't too busy during this visit. But fortunately, we have plenty of footage from 2023 when it was full bore, so let's go back in time.
992K loader. We have three 395s loading trucks, and then we are gonna go walk down to the 6015, the big boy. All of the material that the 6015 is loading into that 777 is being hauled directly to the dam. That's why we saw that excavator with the hammer over there taking care of the oversize. All of this material meets spec for a bulk of the dam. It doesn't need to go to that crushing operation, so it's hauled directly there, making it very, very efficient.
If this dam isn't stopping an existing river, how does the reservoir fill once completed? Everything starts from the existing penstocks, which descend from the mountains, carrying water to other reservoirs and the community. From here, the water hits the valve house, which is the heart of the project. It does exactly as it sounds. It controls the flow of water into and out of the reservoir using the same pipe for both directions. But the pipe couldn't go through the dam, as that could compromise its integrity. So Barnard blasted a tunnel through the mountain, with the pipeline emerging at the base of the dam on the other side. Finally, even though all water into the reservoir is carefully controlled, there's a spillway for heavy rain events so excess water can escape. But before we finish, enjoy this multi-year time-lapse courtesy of Northern Water.
Damn. Thank you to Barnard and Northern Water for having us out. It's amazing to have both the contractor and the owner. Stoked to have us. That doesn't always happen. And it is a fantastic project to see. I hope you enjoyed learning all about it, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay dirty.